Adam and Eve is the album. Falling Off the Edge of the World is the name of that track there, and that's from Gavin Friday, who's here with us. Gavin, that's Maria McKee on backing vocals there. What's happening with you and Maria? Was there something going to happen album-wise or something? I remember you did the AIDS thing in December too.
Myself and Maria have been doing a lot of work for AIDS Alliance over the last 2 or 3 years, and I mean, she came into the studio, wanted her to work on 2 or 3 tracks. She sang on that one, and on the first single, I Want to Live, I'm going to sing on 1 or 2 tracks on her record. But we've decided we were going to do a single together, Cinderella Rockefeller, and we decided
You're the lady.
Yeah, an old Eurovision number, and then we were going to do an AIDS single, Killer Queen, as a duet, and then we've decided now, because I ended up going off on tour and she's off recording, we decided to hold back, and in the next year we're going to make a duets album, sort of like One from the Heart in Hell.
One from the Heart in Hell.
Yeah.
One from the Heart, yeah, right.
You remember that one?
The Crystal Gale and Tom Waits.
Yeah, we've written a few songs together, and we're going to do we do a great jazz version of Don't You Want Me Baby by the Human League.
Very good. I saw you doing Killer Queen, the two of you, at the Olympia. Yeah. Okay, what about places? You just mentioned Europe there, like, I mean, Berlin. I mean, I'd always associate the Prunes with certain places around Europe, and Gavin in particular, and New York. Just take the two differences there. How's Berlin these days to you?
Well, each man was very sort of Berlin and burlesque in that sort of the influences musically where I was coming from was that sort of German sort of 30s thing. But when the wall came down, my interest went, I think. It's a different place. I was there like recently, and it's not like the Berlin that it was for me. I think New York is far more exciting. New York is like being in some sort of scene from Blade Runner. It really is, like, you feel like the world's going to end.
Do you mean now as opposed to, say, years ago?
I think now it's even getting more claustrophobic, because Americans are realising there's a recession. So it's getting more interesting. You actually feel you're there while the empire's falling. But Berlin now, I don't know, the Germans are too together. They're so together they're getting all their interesting places and turning them into boring places. But it's great that the wall has come down and the East is free, but it's not the same city that it was even 5-6 years ago, as far as I'm concerned.
What about also, was there a particular thing about this album where you said, I'm not going to do any covers, you didn't want to do any covers, when it might have seemed that you might, if you're talking sort of T-Rex or whatever, or the ones you've just mentioned there, for instance? Yeah,
I think, but that's one little rule I did make, that I'm negative to covers. I was just sick of picking up a review of the first album and seeing, he does a Jacques Brel song. I said, yeah. And at the same time, rather than, I wanted to reinvent the essence of what T-Rex was and put it into Gavin Friday language. So, and that's what you should do when you're doing a cover. So, it's not really a cover. There's one or two, like King of Trash is more or less a tribute to that sort of ism of the 70s,
Yeah. Going back to 87, the Blue Jesus Club at the waterfront, was that, when you came back into sort of music, was that something that was really very much you see now in hindsight as the grounding for what you're doing in the last few years? Was it getting something out of your system? First of all, what was the Blue Jesus Club?
Blue Jesus Club was more like a bad wedding reception, if you ask me. It was basically me really enjoying myself, being self-indulgent, and being creative in a very sort of spontaneous way. The Dockers was very important. Me's there at 8 o'clock and land on stage at 12 o'clock, 1 till 3. The Blue Jesus was me basically having a good time. It did sow some seeds. I had built up this fascination of Jacques Brel and Kurt Weill and that, and I went in and out of doing those numbers, but it was also, where Bernie and Attractor let loose at the audience, which is an experience and a half. And it's also where we embarrassed the likes of Liam Wainley or Mary Coughlin to get up, but they can't do any hippie crap. They had to sing a decent song.
And did they?
Occasionally. Sometimes very well. Yeah.
Well, you mentioned two there. What about others as like Phil Chevron and Ben Elton?
Yeah, Ben Elton arrived, I remember, one night, and I think after seeing Bernie and Attractor, which is the alter egos of myself and Googie, he had no choice but to stand on the stage and try and compete with us. He's actually better than us. He's a funnier man. But I don't know, like, it was like a planned accident. We never really, some nights it was the worst dump. You'd say, it was just bad. Other nights, you'd like nearly pay 50 quid in. It was so great. It was so, it was, but that's what I liked about it. after 3 months, it just fizzled out. It became a bit sort of stagnant. But I think it gave me a bit of a, it really gave me the zest to say, right, I want to make music again.
Yeah.
So that was me just playing.
And how's Bono? You were talking to him on the phone last night. How's he getting on over there?
I think he's tongued out of his. You know, you don't be on the planet when you're touring. And I'm sure he's having a great time because he hasn't been touring for 5 years. So he's great. Yeah.
There's one song on the current one single, which is a cover of Lou Reed's "Satellite of Love" from the Transformer album.
Mm-hmm.
You're on that in what capacity or what?
Very low mix. You can hardly hear me. You need a microscope to hear me. In the capacity, I'm doing the boom, boom, boom.
Oh,
yeah. I'm doing the David Bowie.
Yeah, right.
He's doing the Lou Reed. That was just a vibe, Dave. You know, we were around and just out for a drink, and he says, "Come on in, have a listen to what we're doing." It's just a jam, and that's all it really is. It's sort of I think they called it a campfire version. It's just a vibe, and I got up and did the David Bowie gone backwards.
You know, they're doing a campfire version of the song on tour. They go out on this little stage, which isn't the main stage,
Mm-hmm.
and they sing "Satellite of Love" and "Angel of Harlem," sort of busk it.
Yeah, I've heard sort of different descriptions of it, but I haven't seen the show yet. So
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll see it before the summer's out.
Okay, well, this there was something else I was going to say that I've completely forgotten now what it was. I wonder what it was. Damn, there was something I definitely wanted to ask about. Maybe I'll play a track.
Not about you two, anyway.
No, it wasn't about you two. It was about Flo and Eddie. Yeah, I wanted to say you've got Flo and Eddie on both the albums. And there's a couple of aging hippies, if ever I.
Yeah, but brilliant aging hippies.
Oh God, here we go.
Well, Frank Zappa's and all that,
well,
Links
that's
and the
true, yeah.
Turtles. They're a bit more than hippies. You know what I mean? That's like calling William Burroughs just a junkie. You know, he's a bit more than that. Flo and Eddie, anyway, they're two of the funniest men I've ever worked with, and the highest. They've actually taught me how to go falsetto. A lot of the high-pitched vocals now. You know, a little few tricks they told me. They were just a vibe. They were in New York, and like after I did the session with them on Each Man, they sort of demanded to be on this record. You know.
Because you mentioned William Burroughs there. What do you think about a movie of The Naked Lunch?
I can't wait to see the movie.
It must be bizarre.
I can't stand William Burroughs. I think he's pretentious and negative, but I love Cronenberg, the director.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And I saw some trailers of it, and it looks amazing. So I'll go for the visual effect.
Well, how you could make a movie out of that?
Yeah, I think it's bullshit. The book, you know,
Yeah.
indulgence. But I'll go and see the movie.
Yeah. Okay, well listen, Gavin, thank you very much for dropping in, and the very best of luck in Europe, first of all, for about the next month or thereabouts with the band on stage.
Yeah,
what happens after that?
Some British dates, and then I hope to play Dublin late April, early May. It's not 100% confirmed. It's very hard for Gavin Friday to get a gig in this country.
Is it?
Oh yeah, they don't know what they're missing.
Why is it hard for Gavin Friday to get not your man in the skirt with the pig's head on stage?
But tell you the truth, Dave, there's still a lot of people think that, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was what, you know, like people, whatever people knew from 80 to 85, there's a lot of people that don't know what you've been doing from 85 to 90, so the only reference point they have is that. What do you think? You mentioned David Bowie there earlier. What do you think of his stuff of late?
Tin Machine, I think that's gone now, didn't he? Knock that on the
Did
head.
he knock on the head, did he?
I heard he knocked it on the head. Not much. I think I find it a bit hard when he's a man in his late 40s running around the stage with guitars trying to be radical.
Well, are you going to be running around the stage in your late 60s as a surrealist rocker?
As a surrealist.
As a surrealist rocker?
I've run around. I've run around the stage in my own way, you know. But I don't try too hard. I don't think. You know. I mean, Bowie was like incredible for what he did in the 70s.
Yeah.
I don't think no one's done in 10 years. You know, the amount of records that were so great. I don't know what happened to him, but he might come back with a good LP. Lou Reed did.
Yeah.
You know.
True. New York in particular, yeah. Okay.
He should stop wearing the suits now.
Who, Lou?
No, David.
Oh, I was just going to say, is Lou wearing suits these days?
Yeah.
David should stop wearing the suits, yeah, I suppose so, all right. Okay, well, look, I'm going to play another track, but I don't know which one to play. Which one should I go for? Will I go for my favourite on the album?
It's your choice.
Okay, I'll bang in number 5 here, and we'll go for that. So listen, the best of luck, Gavin. Hope it goes well, and
Thanks,
congratulations on the album. It's
Thank
good
you.
to see you again. Oh yeah, did you survive your birthday night that night? That was a bit of a wild one, wasn't
I
it?
did, yeah.
I left before everybody else.
Well, the tequila slammers definitely
Thank God for that.
finished the night, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I was permanently embarrassed. Yeah.
Because it was very funny. Because did you know what was going to happen when Bono got all those
I didn't even.
street musicians in from where was it? Do you remember that bit? Or can you remember back? That was early in the night.
It was the theatre festival, wasn't it? And there
Is that what it was?
And there was
Yeah.
some loads of weird.
I remember they made
drummers,
an awful lot of noise in the place.
They did. I was out for a quiet drink, and then this all hit me. Yeah. I'm quite shy, really, you know.
All right, Gavin Friday, Shy Shocker. All right, Gavin, thanks a million. I'm going to play this one here, which I've just lined up, which is called Saint Divine. It's from the album Adam and Eve. Take it easy, Gavin.
Thanks.
Good luck.